You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889. Thank you for listening to Community Forum. My name is Johnny Chandler. I'm the owner of KCCC 930 AM and the host of Community Forum. And today with me is Carl Marksteiner. Kyle is the Public Information Officer for the City of Carlsbad. I also have Danny Fletcher with me. Danny Fletcher was on Tuesday, just 2 days ago.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah. I didn't give anybody your title on Tuesday, so I wanted to make sure that I did that now. And that's going to be Special Projects Manager or Special Projects Coordinator for the City of Carlsbad?
Whatever they need.
Guy. Special Projects guy.
Yeah.
Whatever they need, yeah, whatever the city wants.
Yeah. Well, everything's special.
Well, and duties as assigned, right? That's the end of every job description.
Exactly.
So, all right. On Tuesday, we had Elvis tribute singer, world impersonator, world-class Elvis singer, tribute singer, Michael O'Connor, right?
Right, we did.
And his wife, Patsy, after midnight.
That's right.
And so they're going to be one of the performers for the 4th of July celebration, which is a natural segue leading us into the fact that we are going to talk about the 4th of July celebration this year.
Yeah, and it's 4 days long this year, too. It starts on July 1st, and we have events the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'll let Kyle tell you more about that.
Yeah. So is it 4 days simply because the 4th of July falls on a Tuesday this year, so you just kind of roll it into the weekend?
Yeah, basically we were thinking, on a Tuesday, well, you want to have some Saturday events, and then we want tourism. We want people to come to town. We want them to stay in Carlsbad, pick a day to the caverns, and then the other 3 days come out to all of our events. So, yeah, we kind of wanted to tie everything Tuesday is not an ideal day for a holiday, but we kind of wanted to tie it in with the weekend a little better.
Well, I mean, this happens every 7 or 14 years or something like that anyways, doesn't it? Right.
We had 2 Saturdays in a row, I think, the last couple of years.
Time-wise,
very cooperative, weather-wise, less so. But so let's this year, the time's not cooperative, so let's hope for good weather. Right.
It's always going to work one way or the other. It's Murphy's Law. You're going to get one or the other.
Yeah.
It's 4th of July. It always works that way.
So I guess my question is, especially since Mayor Janaway's been in office, which is quite a long time now, is how do you top what he's done in the past as far as leadership when it comes to the 4th of July celebration? I mean, it's been so good every year. How do you continue to make it better?
Yeah, and I can give a little bit of the history. Carlsbad's had an awesome fireworks show for a very long time period, but around 2020, the mayor says, we need to do some more. Let's add some music, let's add some concerts, let's add some events. And so we started having meetings, planning this big 4th of July ceremony in 2020. Well, that didn't really pan out. Now, we did have a good fireworks show in 2020, but once things opened up a little bit since then, we've added a lot of activities and more fun to it, and brought sponsors and made it possible. And so we still have this fantastic fireworks show, but then we also just wanted some more things for families to attend and do throughout the weekend and week.
Yeah, I've attended multiple celebrations, and I've attended tons in Albuquerque too. Clovis, New Mexico, growing up there, and other places around the state. And this is by far the best one. I've been at Balloon Fiesta Park, and it's a fine time, but this one's better. Plus the water, the river next to it,
sure.
It really just adds a whole nother level. And in Albuquerque, they wouldn't even let them probably set a firework off near the Rio Grande anyways. Right? It's not really enough water.
Right.
So you got to be careful about that. Kyle or Danny, either one of us, why don't you guys kind of go through the lineup and start us off with July 1st all the way through. We'll make sure to get the sponsors in there as well today, because without them, it obviously wouldn't be possible.
Well, July 1st, which is a Saturday, we've got several good regional, local bands. Starting at around 2:30, we're going to have the Red Sky Band. They're going to play for about an hour.
And they played recently at the Summer Concert Series, right? Red Sky Country?
They're actually, they played on June 24th.
Right, exactly. So, and then as an avid listener, or loyal listeners will tell you of my station that they've heard the ad for that.
Yeah.
So they know.
Yeah, and all the bands are going to play about an hour. Right after Red Sky, we'll have the County Line Band, then the Cody Zane Wells Band, and, of course, one of the most popular bands in town, Last Child. And this young man, Ethan Cole, he's been real popular. The kid started, it's from Lubbock. A lot of his family are from here in Carlsbad.
Okay.
And it's a great story on him. A couple of years ago, no one even knew he knew how to play a guitar or sing. He asked his family for a guitar, practiced for about 7 months, and then came out in the living room and did a little show for him, and they were blown away. Now I predict that he's going to be a Texas country music star.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
So he's just naturally talented for the most part, right?
He's very naturally talented. He's good. and he's added to his band every year too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know if he'll have a drummer this year or not, because every year it adds another band member.
He's have a 20-person orchestra.
Exactly.
And his family's originally from Carlsbad.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. A lot of family from here, so that's cool. I haven't heard of him, but I look forward to listening to him for sure.
Yeah, he's a young man, good young man, very talented. Pickleball, June 30th through July 1st.
I wanted to ask Kyle about pickleball for a second because I know that the city's expanding the pickleball courts.
Correct.
I assume that the new courts will be done in time for this
Yes.
weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. I drove by there the other day, and they were very, very close.
Yeah, no,
already.
it's a nice setup they're doing. I was just speaking with our city administrator about that, because they're adding courts, but then they're also kind of adding an area where your kids, your kids can hang out while they're playing pickleball. And so, yeah, as we are putting this together, Danny and I work on the concerts and things like that, but we thought, we need more stuff. So we've got, pickleball tournaments, golf tournaments. We've got all kinds of kind of supplemental things. It's not actually on the agenda in front of us, but we had a woman put together like a paddle boat thing Sunday morning. And so people are going to it's kind of their paddle on the Pecos or something like that. So they're all going to do that. So there's a lot of more kind of everybody coming together and kind of putting together different events. But, Saturday we wanted to have something. So we're calling it Freedom Fest. It's part of the overall 4th of July celebration in Carlsbad. But as Danny said, it's regional bands. But we also, not everybody wants to go down to the beach on the 4th of July itself. It gets a little crowded down there.
Right.
And so we thought we'd have something else on Saturday to kind of add some more options. And so you've probably seen the Let It Foam cannon. They show up. They shoot the foam. The kids.
Yeah, they were at Cavern Fest. It's the first time I've seen them. Yeah.
So we got the Let It Foam cannon. We've got the BLM has a big inflatable cave that you can go in, and so and you can run in there. We got some food vendors out there. So and so we wanted to add kind of a few more options for people that on Saturday. So we got a full schedule, like Danny said, starting at 2:30 and go until 9:00. Just different bands and music. So we hope you'll come out and have a great time.
Several food vendors going to be there.
Yeah, well, I was at the Memorial Day celebration, right, with Gil Carson,
Right.
Carson City Rebels, and Gil Carson was on the show promoting that event, and I went down there, and I thought it was great. I mean, it was amazing. So this is kind of like a similar setup to that event, right? Come out to the band show in the park, the beach and water park, and come have a great day and listen to some great music.
Yeah, we
That's
got some
great
really
idea.
good food vendors coming too, and there's other activities like the guys got to do the photo. 360 photos, so the kids can get out there and dance around, and the camera goes around with them. And
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Those things are pretty cool.
Yeah, so he'll be there too. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'll let Kyle tell about Sunday. Starting with our Carson coffee.
Yeah, so this was just a suggestion. It's kind of a casual thing. I know a lot of the people into fancy cars and things like that, they like to have just kind of casual breakfast gatherings in the morning. And so Crestwood is kind of sponsoring most of our Sunday agenda. And so it's going to start with that. And then the Brooks brothers, Bill and Randy Brooks. In fact, first concert to ever play at that band show was the Brooks brothers. And so they went on, they've done a lot of faith worship, things like that. So they're incredible musicians, but they're also really involved in the Christian faith and all that. And so what we thought is, instead of just having them as a band one of the other nights, we'd invite them to kind of do a worship service on Sunday morning, a little bit cooler. So it might be, might be nice. And they kind of have a following in Carlsbad. Danny can tell, 2 years ago, we had to reschedule them at the last minute due to the weather. And we kind of just went on Facebook and said, hey, guys, we'll have the Brooks Brothers tomorrow at 9.
Right.
And we showed up, and there's this great crowd there. And so whatever word of mouth went on for them, it took care of itself. And so we're going to have them out there. And then, like I said, the paddleboard lady is going to do their paddleboard thing. And then Sunday night, the Chamber of Commerce is going to have the miniature golf tournament with glow-in-the-dark stuff. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so glow-in-the-dark balls and tees and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of fun. So, it's not every moment of time has an activity throughout these 4 days, but we wanted to just try to have some good, fun stuff on all 4 days.
Well, on Sunday, I'd show up, walk around with some coffee because the weather will be beautiful, and check out cool cars, join the worship, maybe go home and take a nap.
Yeah.
Right. and then come
a
back.
little bit of tidbit information. If you go to YouTube and search for Brooks Brothers, they were like teenage sensations back in the early 70s.
Oh.
They had that nationwide. You should go check them out.
I feel like I've heard of the Brooks Brothers, but I can't visualize it or reference it. But I know that the name's familiar to me.
Yeah, in the early 70s, they were quite the teen idols.
Wow.
Yeah.
To dust off the old posters.
Yeah, I was like, all right. I was like, makes you think of like Teen Magazine or something, Yeah. All right, so where are we headed next?
Okay, so Monday, one thing I really want to stress on Monday is that the water park is usually not open on Monday, but that week it's going to be
on July 3rd. It will be open on Monday and Tuesday as well. Or is it always open on Tuesdays?
Yeah, it's always open on Tuesday,
Okay.
but we're opening it on Monday as well. And then the big thing on Monday is in the evening. We're going to have the electric boat parade.
Yeah.
The Chamber of Commerce is again doing that, but Anthony Alonso, aka DJ G Money, is going to be kind of building up to that, and so. He's gonna kind of do this stuff at the band show, just kind of encourage people. So you can view that boat parade pretty much anywhere along the beach.
Yeah.
But it doesn't start till it gets dark, which is after 9 o'clock.
Right. Yeah. This isn't the first boat parade we've had for the 4th of July, isn't it?
So many years ago, the boat parade, but this will be the third straight one that we've had. So the boat parade was brought back 2 years ago. Mr. Ingram has done a wonderful job with the boat parade, and it's just the first year we did it was during the day, and then we thought, it'd be a lot more fun if there were some lights on.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, Chad Ingram at the Chamber is doing a great job. He's always promoting great events like that, and so I think that's a great thing. And then so there's a boat parade, but then the next day we have a road parade. I like to say that boat parade and road parade.
Yeah, we're adding parades. So and then of course our main event is Tuesday, July 4th. And that is the road parade. Carlsbad Main Street organized. That's the nice thing about Danny and my job was we delegate. We say, okay, Chamber, you're doing the boat parade. Main Street, you're doing the road parade. Johnny, you're doing the airplane parade.
Yeah, right.
So what's really cool about our parade that day is, it's going to start at Carlsbad Prep Academy on Church Street. The theme, again, is America the Beautiful. It's going to go down Church Street, go down the courthouse, and then Mayor Janway really would like to have a ceremony we've done to honor veterans. 2 years ago, we did a ceremony to honor World War II veterans, and I believe we had 12 of them. Unfortunately, we only have one World War II veteran left with us in Carlsbad, and that gentleman's not able to make it.
Right.
Then a year ago, we honored Korean War veterans, and so we're going to include them. But the real focus this year is going to be on the Vietnam War.
Okay.
We have a large number of Vietnam War veterans in Carlsbad. I believe we're anticipating at least 70.
At least 70. I think that it's 72 right now,
Yeah.
73.
So that's super exciting. We're gonna have a great group of people up there. We're gonna kind of almost have a graduation ceremony. We're gonna call their names, introduce them. Vietnam War history. I don't think Carlsbad was the case, but there were some places where those folks weren't treated very well.
Right. Yeah.
And so
in the state of New Mexico, even too.
Yeah. And so I think we're all very honored and proud of them, and we want to let them know how honored and proud we are of them and appreciative of their service. And so certainly we're thanking all veterans, but the focus kind of this year is on the Vietnam War. Our guest speaker is Miss Celia Ruiz. Miss Celia Ruiz is the daughter of U.S. Congressional Medal of Honor winner Alejandro Ruiz. His medal is on display at the Carlsbad Museum. And I don't know if you've ever heard her, Johnny, but she is probably the best public speaker, possible exception of Steve Stucker.
Okay.
One of the two best public speakers that I've ever heard. She is just phenomenal. She's an attorney in California now, and just everything she says is poetry. I mean, it's just beautiful. So.
And I feel like, so all of that's great. And I went to, like I said, I've been like 2 years in Carlsbad now. So my first ceremony that I went to was last year's. Right. It was great. And it was on the courthouse lawn by the gazebo, right? And it was early in the morning, so it wasn't too hot. But I think the icing on the cake on this one is going to be at the Cavern Theater.
At the Cavern Theater for two reasons. One, the Cavern Theater has an air conditioner.
Yes.
So very important. And then two, we want to show off. Cavern Theater has been undergoing construction. It's not completely complete yet, but It's in a good spot. We were just in there right before we came here. Looks great. And so, we want people come join us at a thing at the Cavern Theater and participate in the ceremony, recognize our veterans, but then also just get to see how far along this beautiful theater has come.
I don't want to I don't want to take away from everything on the 4th of July weekend, but when it comes to the Cavern Theater, do you know when was the last time it's been open for the public?
There have been tours organized by Ken Britt. There's been events where it's Cavern Theater's open, and I actually believe 6 or 7 years ago it was in a poor condition, but the Fireballs, I want to say, performed in there as kind of a special fundraiser event. The Fireballs came out of a lengthy retirement and performed, and it was pretty cool.
I would have gone to that. That would have been great. That's just really great news for the Cavern Theater and the importance of downtown and the progress on that. So I think that's a monumental event on top of that being in a monumental facility. You know what I mean? I think that's wonderful.
I've seen the rendering of the complete project, and it's like going back in history.
Yeah, we've had Ken Britt on the show talking about the Cavern Theater, and I thought it was amazing. And we've already decided that he's gonna take me on a tour with it. We're gonna record it, and we'll do like an audio tour of the Cavern Theater for anybody from one of the community forums.
Yeah.
So I just think it's amazing. I love old theaters like that in every single small town in America, and the whole story and the history behind those things.
Right.
It's the best. It's some of the best, in my opinion.
Well, and the marquee out front. We're going to have it all lit up when it's done, and it's.
I don't feel like they give that detail of attention to marquees anymore, except in Las Vegas.
No.
Yeah. But it's beautiful, and like Danny said, the marquees, and sometimes it comes up like, well, why is the city funding the Cavern Theater and not this other thing? Well, first of all of the grants we receive that are through a specific funding of that can only go to things like the Cavern Theater.
Exactly.
So we're not making like a Sophie's choice between the Cavern Theater and something else. And then second, as you said, I mean, it does so much for your downtown. It does so much for your businesses. It does so much for arts and culture. And, we support a lot of other things. We support sports and recreation facilities and things like that. But I'm a dad of a band kid, and the band kids and the theater kids and all that, developing some of those arts and culture things are just as important. And
right.
So, we want a great recreation center, Riverwalk Rec Center, and we do have one. We want a great sports complex, and we want a great, a downtown theater area. So.
Yes. So if anybody's giving you any grief about that, Kyle, just send it to me. I'll handle it for you, okay? I'll give you a day off on one or two of them.
Does Facebook grief count, or is it just sort of people venting? So.
No, I ignore Facebook griefs and comments. It's too much for me. All right, so we talked about the parade. We know where the parade's going to end up. We're having the ceremony. We're honoring Vietnam veterans specifically, but of course we always honor all veterans.
Sure.
Right, and let's go ahead and continue from there then.
Well, Danny, we've got a great music lineup on the 4th of July itself.
Oh, yeah, we do. Let's see. Excuse me, Kyle, I'm going to take this from you. Starting at 3:30, Grupo Maldad will be going from 3:30 to 4:30. And, of course, a popular local group, Stranded, will be going 4:45 to 5:45. Now, these are approximate times.
Oh, of course, they're tentative, and sometimes you get the breakdown of the equipment and different equipment. I mean, you may
have had a break for weather before.
Absolutely.
So they're
you should be hanging out down there anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You'll catch them.
And, of course, at 6 o'clock, we have Elvis Presley and Patsy Cline back in baby's arms. We talked to them.
We did. He's a character for sure. I mean, he certainly is, and I think that it's bound to be pretty entertaining in one way or another. I actually think it could be a lot of fun.
He is all about Elvis.
Yeah.
Well,
and you heard the story about, we decided we wanted an Elvis, and so I went on this webpage and I filled out forms and put my number. And about 2 minutes later, my phone rings and I answered it. And this guy starts singing me Elvis songs,
just right away.
Yeah. So that was my introduction to the world of hiring an Elvis.
All right. And so just like that, it was done. It was pretty quick.
He did a song for us the other day on the show. I wish he would have chose some other song.
I do too. I mean, he didn't chose one of his most mainstream ones, right? Exactly. Or the most well known for somebody that's I've known Elvis, but I can't really name any of his songs. But if I hear it, I know it.
Sure.
I mean, he didn't sing one that the average person here is going to know, but Patsy did.
Yeah, Patsy sang Crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and he's giving away scarves, remember?
That's right. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I don't know if there's anybody that knows more about Elvis than him, potentially. I think I knew one little fact that he didn't know, but that's about it.
Yeah, he was claiming a lot of things I didn't know about Elvis. Yeah. So I guess he knows what he's talking about.
It's just more fun to say, yeah, that's true, because they're fun stories.
And Danny, if I can go back to Grupo Maldad, those guys, the band's up in Roswell. Last year we had a storm and some equipment damaged. And we were pulling the plug on the whole event. We had 3 or 4 bands lined up. Things were better. We were losing our sound crew. And the lead singer from Grupo Maldad comes up and he says, my dad's at home right now. I got my sound equipment in the van. What do you say? You guys willing to hire me? And so we did a new sound hiring on the spot.
Yeah, impromptu.
He drove down. And that was the fastest, most efficient sound setup I've ever seen.
It was less than 2 hours.
Wow. Guy drove down from Roswell.
And drove from Roswell, and it was less than 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, he had friends and neighbors coming out of the woodwork, and all of a sudden, it was there, man. I mean, it was beautiful. I still don't know how the whole thing.
That really speaks to their character.
They are good guys, and I can't say enough. They're good musicians too, but above all, more importantly, they're good people.
Well, you know them. I mean, you know they're good. A lot of these bands, we keep coming back every year, right? Or multiple events throughout the year because they're just that great, and people really, really like to listen to them.
Well, speaking of that, our next group is our headliner group. I think they'll bring hundreds of people.
Yeah,
all by themselves.
Grupo Veneno, what a success story. You talk about if you look who's the current person from Carlsbad who's the most successful musician out there. Well,
right.
That would be Jody Vasquez probably with Grupo Veneno and his band and I mean they're internationally. You talk to them. Where were you? Well, we were down in Peru. We were in Mexico. We were Florida. We were all over the place. Great guys, great music. People have asked us before, how do you decide what genre? Well, I think we try to mix up between like Tejano and rock and country and have a little bit for everyone.
Right.
But when you're deciding your headline, like Danny said, you just want to be who has the biggest fan base, who's the biggest draw, and who's the biggest Carlsbad success story to celebrate.
Sure. Who has the most general appeal and something that the community really get behind because they just love them so much.
And these guys, I mean, the first year we did it, we had them. They weren't our headliner. They were performing before somebody else. And so we had tons of people, and then we lost our crowd for our headliner.
Oh,
and so afterwards we talked, we're like, well, dude, we got to have these guys be the main act. So they are.
Yeah, and we really did. I think it was the Beach Boy Revival group. And after Veneno played, we lost our crowd.
Yeah.
And so this year we made them the headliner. And
you're right. So because the opening acts are not supposed to be technically as good as the headliner, right?
Yeah,
the headliner is supposed to be what you're going to stick for. So you just got a group that just blossomed and you didn't know it.
They're awesome. I believe this last year they went to the Tejano Music Awards.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they won any awards or were nominated, but they will be.
Yeah,
they're real popular down in Mexico, and it's just not here in it's all over Texas and Mexico that these guys are known.
And again, great guys to work with, easygoing. We've dealt with our share of celebrities with very crazy writers and lists of things we need to bring them and expectations, and these folks show up and just want to help and want to play, and they're wonderful.
And they don't just do Tejano and Norteña. They do pop songs, rock songs. A little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's cool.
And as we get, because they end and then the fireworks show starts, and the final song or two, they play some patriotic music.
Yeah.
They're all proud American citizens, love this country, and love playing some different music. And so they'll kind of build up to that to set the scene, and then then the fireworks show started. And it's a company out of Ira, Texas, which I lived about 20 minutes from Ira many years ago.
And what's Ira closest to that would be recognizable?
Denton. It's It's near in the vicinity of Denton, Texas. Little tiny farm community. So I did a double take when I saw that when that came back into my life, because I didn't think Ira, Texas would ever come back in my life. But but they're just a fantastic fireworks show. Just everything you could ever ask for and then some.
It's the best in the state. It's best in the region. I mean, I
think it is.
I feel like Sydney, Australia has better fireworks on New Year's Eve. That's like the only one I can think of right now. You know what I mean?
We're coming for you, Sydney.
Right. Yeah. Better watch out. And I only know that because they're always the first ones every year, right? So that's how I even know about their fireworks show at all. Huge lineup, tons to do. Give us some places people can go online so they could look this up themselves, because there's no way they're going to remember everything we told them.
So what we decided to keep it simple. Go to the City of Carlsbad Facebook page or web page.
Yeah.
The web page, there's a kind of all the flyers for all the different events are together. And so those are the two best locations.
Yeah.
We've got an event City of Carlsbad page. Was possible this year, a great group of sponsors. R360 has consistently been one of our title sponsors through the history of the event. This year, we're proud to have Marathon be the other title sponsor. Great group of gold sponsors. We've got Kodiak, Intrepid, XTO, TCS, Navarro, Crestwood, Aris Water, Oxy, Devon, and Bobcat. And then silver sponsors, Pecos Valley Construction, Capitan Energy, Carlsbad Medical Center, and Western Commerce Bank. And then we have several hotels who are these various bands and Elvises and visiting dignitaries and whatnot who are all contributing to comping rooms and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
right. An important aspect of the trip.
it's a part that until you get the job that I have, you don't think about
Yeah,
much.
right. You're like, oh, like who? You're going to invite me to your community and they expect me to buy my own hotel room? Probably not. You know what I mean? So yeah. So no, it's not possible without the sponsors for everything you have set up. It's just impossible. And it's a lot of the same sponsors for every event that we have because they are all the businesses in the community are just so dedicated.
Yeah.
And they love Carlsbad so much. It's just not something I was used to seeing in other communities before I lived down here. It's different. It's better, in my opinion. So, and every one of these events is awesome because of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, we wouldn't be able to do much of what we do without partnerships and sponsorships.
Right,
I mean,
right.
The city, we're a healthy community in many ways financially, but you know, our money goes to police officers and firefighters and fixing roads, and
Right.
so events like this we pay for through sponsorship.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I'd like my tax dollars to go towards improving my community through infrastructure and services. You know what I mean? And when you have great community partners, you're allowed to do that. Unique situation because the community handles everything so great. So I just want to let you guys finish it up. Let's go ahead and, closing statements if you like. I'm going to start with you, Danny.
You know, it's going to be a great celebration like it is every year. We do have one of the best fireworks shows anywhere around this region. So you don't want to miss that. But we got a great lineup, too. And there's other events. I mean, there's going to be they're going to be doing stuff with the tennis courts. Like I said, the pickleball. There'll be events there on the river.
The Globe Miniature Golf Tournament seems really neat.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. And if you haven't been over to the Miniature Golf, you ought.
I've been there. It's incredible.
Great place. We're anticipating there's going to be over 100,000 people in that Riverside Park.
For the fireworks?
For everything.
Oh, over the whole course?
A lot of people start showing up. They'll start setting up on Thursday night or Friday, the
Oh yeah, no, you got
30th.
You got to get that caution tape around those trees and that shade with your barbecue because you got to own a spot. You know,
start staking out their spot.
Yeah, this they do.
Days early.
Good thing we're not allowed homesteading anymore.
No, and that's last year we had a terrible. I don't even remember what it was called. It was some new weather phenomenon that I'd never heard of before, but it was a combination of wind and water and everything, and all those little canopies destroyed.
Oh yeah.
10 minutes later, all of a sudden, barbecue grills. Everything's just shattered across the whole beach. Barbecue grills start up again. Music starts playing again. People are resilient. They are not going to let a little thing like the end of the world stop their barbecue. And
just like a baby tornado. Whatever. We're on our way.
It was so cool, man. I mean, if you ever needed a moment where just America comes back up, and I mean, it was just you looked around and families were just back out again. I don't even, people were crawling out of rubble, and then they just went straight back to the barbecue and turned the radio on, and it was just beautiful, man. And that's to me, that's what 4th of July is all about, is showing a little resilience. I did want one final thing. The theme this year is America the Beautiful. Carlsbad Caverns National Park celebrating their 100th anniversary.
Right.
And so we wanted to kind of tie in with that and show our support for the caverns and the fact that we live in a beautiful state. We live in a beautiful part of the state. We've got 2 national parks nearby. And so we just, we don't always appreciate that.
Right.
It's gorgeous around here. It's hot in the summer, but we've still got 2 national parks. We've got lakes. We've got riverfront. And so celebrate this country, but then also celebrate the fact that we live in a really neat area.
And not only we're right there by the river. We got a lot of shade trees all the way up and down Riverside Park there. Splash pads. I don't know how many splash pads we got.
We currently have 2, and we're working on a 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Volleyball area to play volleyball. Friendship Park.
They got Friendship Park's great. They got the cornhole as well.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know.
He made a hand gesture of him throwing a cornhole beanbag.
Yeah, I made it.
I saw that. He said he made it. Yeah. Friendship Park's awesome. It's for everybody, but it's specially designed for handicapped and special needs kids. So that whole park's amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I appreciate you guys coming on, hyping the event. It doesn't need to be hyped, but I appreciate you guys doing it, and I like doing it as well. Danny Fletcher, City of Carlsbad, Carl Markstern, City of Carlsbad, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're listening to Community Forum on KCCC 930 AM, sponsored by Eddy County, honoring God, country, and family, thriving with industry since 1889.